listen, can I just ask, I guess, first off, since you've landed, you and the team, has there been, how's it all gone? Has there been any complications, with testing and everything like that? Just nuts and bolts, mate. How's it all gone?
It's been smooth sailing since we've been here. Before we got on the plane, it was some hurdles we had to get over. The team had to literally get that exemption for me to leave the country sorted out. It didn't get sorted out till about 6 hours before we flew. Luckily, no one told me about that, so I could focus on my training. But so they had a few hurdles to jump before we took off, but they got it done. So I'm thankful for the team getting that done. And then even when we got to the airport, we needed Abu Dhabi government to approve us coming in as well. So we literally had 30, 40 minutes till that got approved, and then they raced us to the plane and we made it. So other than that, smooth sailing. It's been really good. Everyone's doing their job perfectly over here. We're all allowed out and about in our safe zone, so it's good.
Mate, can I ask, obviously there's been plenty said about whether you should even have to fight Max again, given how sort of comprehensively many thought you won the first one. He's come out this week basically, mate, and said that you've asked for this fight, that it's sort of all your idea that the two of you fight again. I just wanted to get your response. If that's on the mark, if that's gamesmanship from Max, what's behind that?
Well, eventually I end up, like I said, I end up saying that was a fight I wanted. The UFC did put that forward to us pretty much from the get-go. But, again, like I wasn't sitting there putting my hand up saying, no, that's the fight I wanted until probably, a couple of months out. I ended up talking to my team. My team were like, there's no point fighting Max. You already beat him. It was a clear win. You won all 5 rounds. But again, there was no clear number one contender. There were still people that want to doubt me. You know what I mean? There's still people that, quickly forget. And I think for the biggest fight for me, as I've been saying, the biggest fight for me is the rematch with Max, because there's no clear number one contender. And, for my profile, for the division, I just think this is the fight that needed to happen. So that's why I eventually told the team and said, you know what, this is the fight I want. I know I'm going to go out there and do my thing. And again, you talk about legacy, you talk about all things like that. This is the fight to make. So this is why I wanted it. I'm sure he wanted it as well, but that's, to be honest, the UFC was putting that forward literally from my fight, straight after the fight. That's what Dana said he wanted. But again, this is the fight I want now, so let's do it.
And can I just ask quickly, mate, I know he's been talking a fair bit about the fact he's done all his training via Zoom and so on. You don't believe that's true, mate. Why do you think he's foxing with all this?
You believe that?
No, I don't believe that.
Nah, look, man, again, I don't want to afraid to throw too much shade, and I don't want to, obviously put words in his mouth or whatnot. But again, whether it's to cover things up on his end, I don't know. But he's been training. I can guarantee you that. He can't go camp without no contact training. And if he did, he's in big trouble. But I guarantee you, I don't believe that one bit. I guarantee he's been training. He's fully prepared, and I'm fully prepared for a fully prepared Max Holloway. So I don't believe that one bit.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Nick. All right, we're going to go now to Chris Reeves from the New Zealand Herald.
G'day, mate. How's everything tracking? With Eugene coming in, do you know what the deal was with him? Did he have to stay that extra week in the States, or did he get to come over to Fight Island early?
He wasn't able to go back to New Zealand, because if he did that, he would have to do quarantine for the 2 weeks before he could leave. So he had to stay in Vegas, I believe. Stayed in the hotel at Vegas. Had to do testing and whatnot. Like, he had to wait the week, and then he arrived when we arrived. Had to do testing 48 hours before the flight, as we did, and then got all clear, and then he was able to travel. So he done me a solid and waited out in Vegas so he could make it for the fight. So very thankful for that. And he's here.
The whole team's here now. You got Brad and Frank both arrived.
Whole team's here. Whole team's out of quarantine. we're all out and about, mingling now, so it feels good. It feels like fight week again.
What can you tell us about the island? Is it this big mythical paradise that we're all imagining?
Mate, it's pretty good. It's hot. I'm sure that's no surprise to anybody. But man, we're literally on a Formula One track. Our hotel, like yesterday, we had the cars zooming around. You've got yachts and everything around us, and mate, there's like obviously the cage on the beach. It's nice sunny days, good nice sunrises, mate. It's beautiful. You know, we haven't been out too much yet, but I think we're going to do some golf tomorrow. Maybe we'll probably get on the Formula One track ourselves, get out and about, do our thing, and enjoy Fight Island.
What do you make of fighting in the outdoor cage on the beach?
Fighting on the outdoor, yeah. Well,
Now that you've seen it.
oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I think we're going to do a face-off there. I don't think I will be fighting on that. Well, I hope not. I hope I ain't fighting on outside. But no, it looks cool. So we're going to go check that out. I think today we're going to go see the cage on the beach. I know we'll be doing face-offs there and things like that. But pretty sure they built a whole like arena. They literally built an arena for the cage. Obviously, there's going to be air-conditioned rooms, in the room and things like that. Can't be fighting in none of this heat.
Yeah, that makes far more sense. So I guess just finally from me, you'll be fighting pretty early in the morning, I understand. Has that changed anything about how you approach the fight?
Well, look, obviously I'm going to bed really early and I'm waking up very early. So I'm going to bed at like 7. I'm trying to go to bed around 7. Obviously, we've got some media obligations, so I'm trying to keep it around that time. And I'm getting up anywhere 3:30 to 4 o'clock, just so I can be awake for 4 or 5 hours before I fight or before I train, just so I could stay on that sort of time zone. So it is a little bit different, but I'm just pretending I'm in Australia pretty much. And I'm at night time I'm closing the blinds so it's nice and dark, and I'm turning the lights on as soon as I wake up to make it look like it's daytime. I'm just doing all the little things to just let my body know and just sort of get used to these times that I'm going to sleep. So, like I said, I'm a professional. I'm going to do all the 1%ers and do everything that needs to be done to make sure I'm fully prepared come fight time. So not only am I fully prepared mentally, physically, there's all these little other things that I do and my team are all a part of it, and we're all about, and that's why we've been so successful.
Cheers, Brooke. Good skill on the weekend, and congrats on the book.
Sure.
Thank you, Chris. We're going to go now to Gardy from Fox Sports.
Gardy.
Hey mate, how are we?
I'm good, mate.
Mate, you touched on it a little bit earlier. The old Max Holloway Zoom training camp. If we don't believe it, which I don't think there's many out there that believe it completely, why do you think Max is resorting to these mind games?
Look, man, whether it's mind games, again, I'm not going to put words in there. I'm not going to accuse him of anything. And I don't want to accuse him of doing the wrong thing, obviously. But again, I had to get exemption, so I'm not allowed to train. And if I didn't want to go by the rules, and didn't get exemption and still trained, you know what I mean, I'd have to keep that call. Something's happened. You still see me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Let me fix this. Oh, anyway. I can't really see the screen. Does that matter or? Yeah, might need a code. But where were we at, mate? Sorry about that.
We can still see you, Volk. So you're okay as long as you don't mind looking at it.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't have to look at my big head. But yeah, so again, you know what I mean? I don't know exactly what he's playing at, but I can just tell you, I guarantee you he's trained. He's had contact training. And maybe he's just got to cover his ass on his end. I don't know. But again, I don't want to accuse him of anything. But I don't believe it one bit.
I know you've spoken about feeling disrespected by, I guess, some fans and I guess some people in the media who didn't give you the credit you sort of deserved after such a convincing win the first time round. But how do you feel about Max himself, who has never really conceded defeat? He's always sort of, I guess, insinuated that he thought he did enough to win the fight.
Mate, it's again, I think he's just quite salty about the whole thing, to be honest. It's quite surprising. I didn't think he would be a bit of a sore loser, but that's sort of my take on it. I think he's been a bit sour, a bit salty with how everything's going. It's not a good look for him, to be quite honest. But hey, if it's, I think it's getting to his head, to be honest about it. I watched the countdown this morning, and him just this whole narrative of like the leg kick's not working and everything about it. I'm just like, what are you playing at, mate? You know, I don't know if he's just playing the game, but maybe he's playing the game because there's people there believing the shit. Excuse my language. So, you know what I mean? It's obviously not true. You know what I mean? And you know, I think I even heard him say something about the commentary being biased for me, which is quite. I was blown away by because you know, I think I don't know if you've been on the social media, you know, obviously everyone is going to tell you completely opposite. You know what I mean? I believe they were biased for him, and that's why there's so many people with these biased opinions, and that's why there's people that actually think it was a close fight. But again, I sound like I'm upset about it, I'm angry about it, but you know, obviously I'm using it as motivation. You know, that's why I've got something to prove. That's why I'm going to go out there. I'm going to finish him. You know, he wants to say that he thought he won. I'm going to put him away, and I'm going to guarantee his head's going to be down while my hand gets raised because he's going to know he lost. And you know, if he wants to be sour about it, you wait till I take him out this week. He's going to be real salty.
Oh, mate, you weren't able to kind of finish things off at CKB like you've been doing, but I'm sure you had your discussions and your Zoom calls, I guess, in terms of game planning. Obviously, without giving it away too much, because I guess the game plan did work the first time around. Are you looking to make many changes going into the rematch?
There has to be changes. There has to be adjustments. But at the end of my overall game is a big problem for him. And for him to change the fight or change his game so much is just not going to work for him. So I do believe not much will change. I just think it's going to be a high-paced fight. I think he's just going to take more risks. I think he's going to not worry about trying to, you know, make me miss and counter and things like that because it didn't work well for him. He's not going to try and outsmart me because that didn't work. I believe he's going to do a lot more. I think, which is exciting. You know, obviously that's in for an exciting fight, and he's going to put himself in dangerous positions. He's going to put himself in risky positions. So, and I'm telling everyone, I'm going to be putting him away, and I feel like I can get the finish. And if he plays that game, which I'm almost certain is how this fight's going to go, that's why I believe I'm getting that finish. I believe I'm going to finish him inside the 5 rounds. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Again, I want to set a statement. I've got something to prove. Winning isn't enough for me right now. I want to go out there and really set a statement, tell everyone and show everyone that he can be finished, and put a real sour taste in his mouth if he's going to act like the way he is.
Thanks, mate. Good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
How much does it help to have someone like Eugene in the camp who's obviously been through all these protocols and stuff, obviously with Dan Hooker there in Las Vegas the other week?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Again, like obviously, yeah, he's been through the process, so he knows. But man, everyone's been so good here anyway. So everyone's, you know, gave us the rundown even before we got here. Like we already knew we were going to do like 5 tests. We knew we were going to do the quarantine as soon as we got here. To be honest, it was a lot more smoother than we thought it was going to be. So it's been good. You know, everyone's doing their job very well over here and making it as easy as they can for the fighters. So it's good.
Looks like you've got a little bit of a war wound on the schnoz there. How did that happen?
Yeah, just that was in training. Just like a bit of skin coming off. So it's just nice and red. Just looks a lot worse than it is.
That hasn't affected the looks too much, mate. Don't worry about that.
I don't know what looks worse. This big fat band that I had on it, where people thought I broke my nose because it looked all swollen, or just let them see these little cuts where people are freaking out about anyway.
You obviously you also injured your hand after the last fight there. Did that affect the preparation or the lead up at all? It obviously looks fine now.
Nah, it's fine. You know what I mean? Obviously, I had to have a bit of time off and obviously do rehab and whatnot. But then we had quarantine, so I wasn't able to punch too much anyway. So I had plenty of recovery and things like that. But there were so many other things I could work on, especially through isolation. You know what I mean? To work on the body, work on you know, strength, you know what I mean? And different cardio and flexibility, you know, whatever it is. There was so much I could work on. And, mate, like, I feel really good. I feel more explosive than ever. I feel like I'm hitting harder than ever. I'm jumping. I'm breaking records in the gym. So because we keep records of everything, and I'm hitting new numbers. So that just shows you that even though all this, these challenging times, it shows you that, and if you're a professional about it, especially in this sport, there's still other things that you could do. And, I think that I leveled up in some areas. And I had enough time to prepare all the other areas anyway. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong, moving well, and ready to rock.
Can you give us an insight into what kind of records? Are these strength records or speed records or what kind of things?
Yes, jumping records. Like I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not the highest jumper, but I'm getting better and better. I'm like I said, I'm hitting new numbers. We do grip strengths, like all things like that. Just I was doing jumps with weighted jumps, and obviously then they got numbers on hip thrusts and all things like that. And mate, like I said, I'm stronger than ever.
Good on you. Thanks, Alex. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adrian. We're now going to throw to Mitch Jennings from the Illawarra Mercury.
Volko.
What's going on, mate?
Oh, not much, mate. Just in sunny Wollongong, bud. Probably not as sunny as it is over there, bud, but it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Mate, I wanted to ask you, probably being in a rematch is probably a new experience for you. You've sort of churned through the ranks for quite some time and haven't really had any doubt over the sort of those wins. What's that been like, having, I guess, your focus on the one guy for such a long period of time? Because it's probably been a little while since you've done something like that.
Mate, it's good. You know what I mean? Think of it like, even after the injury and obviously rehab and all that, and after the fight, mentally and even training before isolation, I was just preparing for Max, because it was always looking like it was going to be Max. So I always had that in my mind. More the visualization and everything's always been Max. I've already had 5 rounds with him. You know what I mean? It's good. I'm already as composed as a fighter can be. I think I'm one of the most comfortable and composed fighters in the octagon. And now I have all this experience with this one opponent that, I've seen it for the last, how long has it been? Over 6 months. So I've seen his look. I know his look, and I don't believe he can change it too much. And if he does, you know what I mean? Like I'm more than ready for that. So it's good. I believe it's going to be in my favour. Can't wait.
Yeah, like you said there, mate, a lot of people have been asking what, because he lost the fight, what he needs to change and that sort of stuff. Do you, when you're going to that rematch, I don't know, is there a bit of cat and mouse about anything you have to change, or do you stick with what's pretty tried and true, or are you going to throw some surprises at him?
Man, look, there's obviously little things that we're going to change, and there's adjustments we need to make and things like that. So, but at the same time, he's the fighter he is, and he's been successful for so long because of his style, and he can't change that too much. And if he is so worried about leg kicks or whatever it is, or you know what I mean, that means he's going to change his whole game, and that's just going to put him in unfamiliar waters, and that's just going to make the fight even easier for me. So I don't believe he can change too much. So you know what I mean. But at the same time, he will make adjustments. There's going to be things that he will do, like maybe do more. You know what I mean, like be more active, be in my face a little bit more. But again, that's playing into my world. If you look at most of the exchanges in our last fight, I won almost all of them. You know, and every time there was a good exchange, I ended up on top. So with the bigger punches. So yeah, you know what I mean. It's funny. He talks about me point punching and karate point punching and all this crazy talk. I don't know where he's going with that. The commentators themselves, the whole fight, are talking about how I'm trying to take his head off. And, am I going to gas because of how much power I'm putting behind my punches while he's doing his pitter-patter punches that he's known for? He's a volume puncher, you know what I mean? He's known for his pitter-patter and just volume punching. So I just don't know where he's going with this whole narrative of, if maybe isolation, he's losing the plot. I don't know what's going on there. But again, he's in for a long night if he's going to think like that. If he believes what he's saying, I'm going to put him away. I can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks, bud. Best of luck, mate. The whole gong's cheering for you as always.
Thank you. Shout out to the gong.
Beauty.
The gong, hey, Frank.
Bit of quarantine period, I guess leaving when you were in Vegas and now that you're actually in Abu Dhabi? Has this been tough for you at all?
Not really. I was able to do Hiker Holloway in my bedroom for the past 48 hours, so it's been okay. But no, wherever we go, me and my team, we really want to go and really be a part of the culture, really learn the culture, and it's kind of hard to do that now. But I understand, I understand the protocols, I understand the precautions, so it is what it is, and we just gotta follow the rules.
Preparation, I guess, during COVID has been different for every fighter, but you've made waves a little bit, saying that you only trained over Zoom and that you didn't have any sparring sessions or anything like that. Now, Volkanovski is among a few people that aren't quite buying that story. Can you confirm that you didn't train with anyone during this whole period leading up to the fight?
Yeah, he can think what he wants to think. I don't know, the lockdown in Hawaii was pretty serious. There was like arresting people and stuff. And I mean, I know with this mask in my hair, I don't really look like the same Max, but they know what my gym is. They know what my car is, and one call, I could have made headlines going to jail and stuff. So who's being smart? Who's doing what we do? And at the end of the day, I really just saw them doing that. I had 4 title fights in a matter of 12 months last year, and the year 4 title fights in 12 months. Like, that's a lot of experience. I don't like sparring and stuff. Like what I said is, I really do mean it. Like, it's cool not being able to spar. I actually feel healthy. I feel recharged, and I can't wait for Saturday night.
I know you're not defending the belt this time around, but losing to Volkanovski for a second time would obviously put you in a bit of a limbo in the division in terms of what's next. So is there maybe a little bit more pressure this time around for you?
Not at all. No pressure. No pressure at all. I got 5 titles. 5 titles at home in my closet. Yeah, I got 5 of them. The dude can win me 2 more times, and he still don't have enough as much titles as me. So at the end of the day, there's no pressure. A fight is a fight. I always said the belt was only to let people know what's up. And I still believe I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and I get to prove that again come this week.
Thanks, mate. That's all from me.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Gotti. I'm now going to go to Adrian Warren from AAP.
Yeah, hi Max. First of all, you mentioned there you obviously had a lot of title fights the last 12 months throughout your career there. What would it mean for you to actually regain a title? Where would you rank that in your career?
I don't know where I'd rank in my career. I still got a lot left in my career, so I don't know where I rank even up to today. I'm not focusing on things that's now. I'm only focusing on the fight, and then after that we focus on the next one, and the next one, and the next one after that. So I'm just taking one step at a time. I'm not trying to sit back and enjoy everything that I did so far, because I know I got a lot more work to do.
How much did you review that first fight with Volkanovski with your team, and like how many hours or how many replays have you watched to try and identify what you could do better or what you might have done wrong on the day?
We watched a bunch. I got to watch it. I watched my fight. It's only a loss if you don't learn, and we made sure we learned, and you guys get to see everything we learned come this weekend.
He's suggesting that both fighters will make changes, subtle adjustments, and such like. But if you stray too much away from your usual high volume game plan, it could work into his hands. I mean, what are your feelings about what you need to do better to give yourself the best chance of winning this rematch?
I don't know what he's talking about or what he's saying, but at the end of the day, in the first one, I thought we did enough. I thought I did, but obviously there's 3 people's decisions that had it the other way. That's only opinions mattered. Three opinions mattered that night, and they didn't pick my way. And if you look at it, and if I got kicked by Jose Aldo 20 times, I don't know what would come first. The vaccine for this COVID or me being able to walk. Alex kicked me 80 times. 8 times, guys. I went to the after party. I danced the night away. Life was still good, you know. At the end of the day, if we're looking at stats, you guys want to talk about stats? We're talking about stats. Go see who hit who more in the head, in the body, who defended more, whatever takedowns. You know, if you look at the cards, it shows everything. So you guys can go back and look at it yourself.
He was obviously quite effective in terms of his leg attack there. I mean, how do you go about countering that? Because I guess we expect that to be part of his game plan again.
You guys just gotta have to tune in. You guys gotta tune in this weekend because I rather show than talk.
Thanks, Max. Much appreciated.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Adrian. We're now going to go to Nick Walshaw with the Daily Telegraph.
Awesome.
Hey, Max. A couple of minutes ago, Alex was sitting where you are, and he was asked, you know, what he thought about the fact that you still believe you won that fight. You know, that you believe it was the judges that disagreed. He suggested that you're quote unquote still salty about the whole thing, a sore loser, and sort of basically have the shits about, you know, the result. I wondered what you would say to that.
I don't know. I don't know. I never once asked for this fight. You can go back in time and see who asked to fight who. The guy wanted to fight me. I don't know. I guess he got something to prove. The man got a chip on his shoulder, and it is what it is.
Can I ask how quickly it was after the fight that was it immediately after the fight that he asked for the rematch? Was it in the octagon? Was it backstage? When did you first know that Alex wanted to fight again?
They used it in the preview. They used it in his pre-talk, and right after the fight, in his interview that when we do talk to the media, he said it. They used it on this preview for the countdown, I believe, or something. It was something that UFC posted that they used it. He's saying that he want to fight me again, and I deserve it. You know, go back to any interview wherever. I never asked to fight the dude. He wanted to fight me, so he got his wish.
Alex doesn't seem to think that the fight was close. I mean, how close do you think that fight was?
I mean, if you listen at the experts, you know, all the experts gave me rounds 4 and 5. You know, you look at the stats. At the end of the day, stats is stats. You know, the only thing he struck me in legs. You know, go look at the stats for the body and the heads. You know, but it is what it is. I'm like I said, you know, the word of a wise man said, "Don't leave that shit to judges. They only make you cry," and that's what it is. You know, I'm not complaining. I'm not saying nothing. I never know it was a crime or it's you being salty when you say you thought you want to fight, but I guess it is. Thanks for the knowledge.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Nick. I'm going to go to Mitch Jennings now from the Illawarra Mercury.
Thank you.
Hey, Max. Man, I wanted to ask you, it's interesting, Alex is in a position you've been in before in terms of having dethroned a long-reigning champion and then had to, I guess, put a stamp on it in a rematch. Does that give you an insight into what his mentality is now and I guess the mental battle that he's going through in regards to that challenge?
No, I don't know. I don't know how to weigh it, Andrew. You know, when I was getting ready for a fight, Aldo the second time, they asked me, and I said it is what it is. So I don't know what's going through his mind. He's saying a bunch of stuff. He's doing a bunch of things, and I cannot answer that question for that guy. You know, I don't know how it feels because every single fight when I go into it, I'm 1-0. I'm 1-0, and it's this fight, and I go out there to be the best.
You just mentioned a bit earlier about the I think it was 4 title fights in 12 months. You were very active going into the last fight. Did you feel that had taken a toll on you a little bit by the time you got into the octagon with Alex at that point, or was it just, you know, one of those nights?
I mean, not at all. You know, I'm not gonna take that away from him. I felt good. If you tell me how I feel this fight to that fight, I can tell you I feel better. That's about it. But I don't know, we just sometimes when you train, you get lost in the grind and you don't really know what is wrong or what is banged up because you're so used to it. Us fighters, this pandemic is crazy times, but it also was a little blessing in disguise. I got to hang out with family. I got to focus on recovery a little bit more. I got to do a lot of things, and that is it. I'm not gonna take nothing away from the last fight or say this and that wasn't the best because that was the best me, But now I got to bury me coming this weekend.
He'd obviously, when you're the champion and he's coming up through the ranks, he would have been watching you and looking at you for a long time. You probably not so much for him. Did he do anything that surprised you when you got in the octagon with him? And did you come away in reflection and find some things you think you can exploit?
Not at all. He didn't do nothing that I fought. I got what, 26 fights. I got a bunch of amateur fights, a lot of them, and it's just he didn't do nothing different. He just went out there. He got a win. He got a decision win, and that's cool. At the end of the day, it wasn't nothing anything, to be honest. He did something that worked, I guess, in the judge's eyes that night, and he got the W.
Cool. Thanks, Max. Best of luck, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch. I'm going to go to Peter Bateman now from Fight News Australia.
Max, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so this fight was originally rumored to be in Perth, Australia. Do you think it plays into your favor that it's not there anymore? And do you miss the fact that you're not going to be able to go to Australia?
Not at all. It's just an island. I wish it was Australia. I know it would have been in a big stadium, I think, right? So that would have been cool to experience. And I never went to Australia, so would have been super cool. But it's the hand we dealt. I never been to Abu Dhabi either, so I guess it's cool. On one of the biggest fight cards ever for the year for UFC, the first Fight Island card. So it's super dope.
Yeah, given the gravity of 251 now, do you think it's actually better that you get to go over to Abu Dhabi now?
I mean, just because of how big this card and everything that we're going through, I think it's a lot more huger for sure. But I wouldn't mind of going to Australia. That would have been fun too.
Okay, no worries. So there's been a lot of talk lately in the media, kind of about you having to change your style, change a few things if you want to beat Volk. But do you think Volk in their camp is going to be making any changes? Do you expect a different Volkanovski when you meet him in the octagon?
I don't know. The beautiful thing is we get to find out at the end of the week. So I'm just focusing on what I can focus on. I'm not trying to think too much of what he can do or what he's gonna do. I'm gonna go out there and do me.
And there's been a few events now with no crowds. I don't know. I'm sure you've watched them. But you seem to be a guy who kind of feeds off the energy of the event and the people there. What are your feelings about fighting in front of nobody?
It doesn't make me or break me. I mean, the crowd is cool, like he said. Feeding off energy is fun. But you can send me a contract of fighting in a parking lot or in an alleyway. As long as we get paid, and as long as it's legal, and I don't get into trouble, I'll show up.
Great. Thanks so much, Max. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. I'm going to go to Chris Reeve now from the New Zealand Herald.
G'day, mate. Just on you not sparring this training camp, do you feel like you're coming in feeling any different than you normally would for a fight week?
Yeah, my body feels great. It's not too banged up like how it usually is for certain fights. But we're here. We're ready to go now, and I can't wait.
We saw with Mike Perry a couple of weeks ago that he hadn't done any sparring either, and he looked the best that he probably has in a long time. Do you feel like you're heading down a similar path?
Oh wow, he didn't spar either. Good for that man, and he had his chick inside the stuff. I was trying to get Rush in my corner, but I think age restrictions didn't allow that. So at the end of the day, Mike Perry's a G for doing that. I didn't know he sparred. Yeah, kudos to him. He looked phenomenal, to be honest. So that's great.
And I guess just finally, you've been on the scene for a long time now. Do you think people forget that you're only 28 years old?
Oh yeah, 100%. People forget at 28. When I was fighting Ortega, people were saying that this young contender is fighting the old vet or something. I was younger than him. I was like, we're the same age, but he turned 28 or 27 before me. I was like, come on, guys! Like, what are you guys doing? Like, good trick the birth dates or something. I don't know.
Cheers, mate. That's all from me. Good skill for the weekend, eh?
Thank you.